Welcome to my channel and to our today's video. We are looking at a comparison between investing in the infrastructure bond and a money market fund. We have chosen the ethical money market fund, which is giving us a return of 15.21% gross, meaning that we are supposed to adjust it with the relevant tax, which is a withholding tax rate of 15%, and investing in the infrastructure bond, and we have chosen the IFB 1 2023-17, which is giving us a coupon of 13.990%. Generally, infrastructure bonds are issued tax-free, and therefore that coupon will not be adjusted for taxes. And therefore, the money market fund will give us a net return of 12.9285%. That is 85% of the gross 15.21%, because we have deducted the 15% tax. Generally, infrastructure bonds are expected to give us a better return or a better acceleration in the growth of our capital only when you compound the coupons. No money should be left idle. Money market funds, and especially our chosen money market fund, that is ethical money market, compounds on a daily basis, meaning that every daily interest that you earn on the amount that you have invested, the following day morning forms part of your capital and therefore generates another interest. Where interest is able to generate interest, such an investment vehicle is a compounding vehicle. And therefore, for this comparison to be fair and with that mindset of compounding the returns from the infrastructure bonds, we shall be channeling the coupons that we are getting from the infrastructure bond back to our ethical money market fund. And at the end of the day, we want to compare between the money market fund investing 200,000 for a period of 2 years and the infrastructure bonds with compounding of the coupons for the same period of time. We want to look at which of the two options gives us higher capital growth. We shall be looking at all that after 3 seconds short break, so don't go away. And in the meantime, give us a like to this video and engage us in the comment section. See you after 3 seconds short break. Welcome back, and thank you for your like and the comments. If you are new to the channel, give us your subscription and don't forget to hit the notification button so that next time when we upload our next value-packed video, YouTube will give you a notification. We begin by looking at our investment of 200,000 in our money market fund at an interest rate of 15.21%. Using this schedule that we have already determined, our investment of 200,000 in ethical money market fund at a current return of 15.21% for a period of 2 years on a daily compounding, we will be using the usual formula for compounding, and that is amount will be given by the amount invested, that is a principal, inside a bracket 1 plus the rate to the power of the number of times interest shall be calculated and distributed. That is a number of times that interest shall be compounded. For this formula, A, the amount stands for the total amount that shall be in our account at the expiry or maturity of the investment period. Or rather, it is our new capital constituting of the original capital that we'll have invested and the growth, that is the total interest that we shall be generated from our investment. P for principal refers to the initial investment amount, which should be your original capital. Then rate, this, or R for rate, this is the annualized interest rate, that is the 15.21, But remember, money market funds returns are taxable at a withholding rate of 15%, and therefore at the point of substituting those values, then we'll have first to adjust the return of 15.21% with the 15% tax rate. Then N refers to the number of times that interest will be calculated and distributed. Investments earn or accrue the returns on a daily basis. But the most important part is the distribution, which is the sharing of that return to the members of that particular fund. And therefore, interest distribution for this particular money market or fund of our choice, ethical money market fund, distributes on a daily basis, which means that your interest is added to your previous day's capital for purposes of investing, and therefore the number of times interest will be calculated and distributed, or rather compounded, will be equal to the number of days in a year, and that is the 365 days. So in substitution, for our period of investment, the maturity period of 2 years, therefore interest will have been calculated and distributed 365 days times 2, which will give us a total of 730 times. That is the value of N. P is the 200,000 that we are investing, and A, the amount that is our unknown that we want to calculate. For the rate, we have to use the daily rate, and therefore after adjusting for tax, where we are getting a value of 12.9285%, then that value will be divided by 365 days in order to get the rate per day. And that is what we shall adjust for the formula. And after all that computations, we are getting those long values, the 0.035420547945, 5205, and we are using the entire value so that we minimize the error of rounding off, but we will be able to round off the last value. That figure, after calculation, we are getting a value of 259,003 shillings 0.502 once we round off to three decimal places. In order for us to check the accuracy of our calculation, we need to perform a control calculation using the ethical money market fund calculator, and as for this schedule, it confirms that our calculation was correct because the calculator has given us 259,011 shillings. That difference denoting the rounding off error because the calculator could not use the extended or the expanded interest rate of 12.9285, but used 12.93%. Then now we look at what will be the total amount that we'll get from investing in the infrastructure bond and compounding the coupons in the money market fund. The first important part that we need to determine is the coupon payment months. The IFB 1/2023-17 paid its coupon of 13.990% in the months of March and September. The other thing to look at is the specific dates when these coupons are paid in those months. And from this extract from the prospectus, these coupons are paid in the beginning or the first days of the month, and at times it will be paid in the month of February and August, and therefore we have assumed the 2 months will be fully invested. And for that reason, then the coupon reinvestments in the money market fund, we have simplified. Instead of using the long formulas, we have computed the same way we computed for the manually for the money market fund, and we are using the total values. So for the annual coupon amount, we're getting the 13.990% of the 200,000, which is giving us 27,908 shillings. And because this coupon is being paid out 2 times in a year in equal amounts, then we divide it into 2, and we are getting that 13,900. We are getting 13,990 as the coupon to be paid out in the month of March and September. And therefore, once we calculate the interest that will be accruing in the money market fund for these 4 coupon payouts in the 2 years under consideration, the first payment of coupon will be in March. And for the remaining period of investment in the 2 years, then this amount will be invested for 22 months. And upon calculations, then we are getting a total of 18,092 shillings 0.18 or 18 cents. The September coupon in the first year will be invested for 16 months and will realize a total of 16,860 and 41 cents. In the second year, the March coupon will be invested for 10 months, and on calculation, we are getting a total of 15,670 and 41 cents. Then the September coupon, if being invested for 4 months, will get us 14,659 and 59 cents. The total or initial amount invested of 200,000, and these are coupons that we have reinvested in the money market fund, will realize a combined total of 265,282 and 59 cents. When you get that total and compare it with the value or the figure that you have gotten from the money market fund, the Ethica Money Market Fund realized a 259,003 shillings and 50 cents. And that gives us or leaves us with a net difference of 6,279 and 8 cents. Therefore, investing in the infrastructure bond and ensuring that all those coupons from the infrastructure bonds are compounded in the money market fund will realize more capital growth compared to holding the money in the money market fund. This does not negate the importance of a money market fund. But for purposes of averaging up, growing our capital, you can get a part of what you are holding in a money market fund and push it into the infrastructure bond, leaving the rest of the amount in the money market fund, because that will give you an averaged higher value or returns, which will give you a higher average growth in your capital. Another thing is that the money market fund returns vary depending on the market interest rate, because the money market fund investment vehicle are responsive to changes in the market interest rate as projected through the treasury bills, while the infrastructure bonds is a fixed return instrument, and therefore the return will remain the same throughout the investment period. And for that reason, the average of 14% that you are getting from the infrastructure bond is kind of a baseline that pushes your average returns up when the money market funds returns are declining. While the return or the rate of return is one of the important factors that we consider when choosing to invest, there are some other factors that you also need to look at when choosing your investment vehicle. One, in this case, you cannot rule out the use of the money market fund for the infrastructure bond, because there are immediate and emergency needs that you require the money market fund. And for that reason, you have to continue using the money market fund or holding your emergency funds in the money market fund, because the infrastructure bond is illiquid. You cannot access what you have invested in the infrastructure bond in the event you are faced with an emergency. That is a question on liquidation. There is another aspect of interest rate risk, and especially at this time when we are facing a declining trend in the returns in the market interest rate, which is mirrored or reflected in the returns by the money market funds. That giving us the interest rate on the side of the fixed income instrument, the infrastructure bond. It also gives us an reinvestment risk, where the coupon that we are getting at 14% will be reinvested possibly in a money market fund where the return will have gone further down or declined to maybe a 13% because of the declining trend and other factors. So once we have done this conclusion, it is upon you as an investor to do a little bit more research for you to form a decision. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.